My name is Robin Held. I'm Chief Curator of the Frye Art Museum, and I'm really pleased today that we have with us author and cultural critic Greil Marcus on the occasion of the Old Weird America, an exhibition coordinated by the Contemporary Art Museum Houston in its final incarnation at the Frye through the end of the year. So let's talk about dance. Let's talk about square dancing. Let's talk about Quakers and Shakers.
Well, she calls this piece Dancing Squared. And yeah, it refers to square dancing, and the gingham dresses, are supposed to remind you of people in the South having square dances. But it's four. That's why it's Dancing Squared. It's a quartet. And what you're seeing here isn't square dancing. This is shaker dancing. This is the static dancing. And the Shakers, in the early part of the 19th century, they were called Shakers because they shook. And they shook out sin. They shook out carnality. They shook out all sexual desire through dancing. And there'd be a line of men and there'd be a line of women. And they would have organized dances, but they would also be dancing in trances. You were supposed to see the God within you as you danced. And you had to reach a pitch of frenzy for that to happen. It was like speaking in tongues. It was like the spirit, instead of coming down, though, coming out of you. But it's both a receiving of the spirit and a banishing of the spirit. That was the purpose of dancing. And people say, I dance to get rid of my anxiety. I dance to get rid of my tension. Well, this was literally to expunge the sinful capacity of human beings. And you would shake out of me everything carnal. That was a chant that they would sing as they danced.
So you'd leave the dance floor cleansed, pure, ready to do battle again with your own.
You did this over and over and over again. It was a never-ending battle. You never achieved purity until you died. The Shakers were a community that meant to grow and survive and perpetuate themselves solely through conversion, because they were not to engage in sex, they were not to have children, they were to bring an end to life on earth, purify the earth, and only then would that would be the end of time. That would be the last judgment. All of humanity would join the Shakers, and they were ultimately you'd reach a point where no children were born, and only those who were living would die, and that would be the end. That was the purpose of the Shaker religion, and it persisted in communities, particularly in the South. Started in New England, came from England, started in New England, went to the South. There is still one last Shaker community in Maine. Oh. Just a very, very few people. I think 2 or 3 women, 1 or 2 men.